Hi, I'm Larry Chandonnet, President of Cidan Machinery. Today we're going to show you the Futura Plus 30 model, which is 122 inches of 11 gauge capacity, 100% duty cycle, or 3mm by 3.1 meter folder. It has an L-shaped back gauge of 125 inches, and we'll get to that in a few moments. But first we're going to talk about the tooling. And you have upper beam tooling, box tooling, and you have segmented folding blade tooling, and segmented lower beam tooling. The tooling can be taken off with a simple Allen head, and it's got a unique locking system here. So when I pull this tool off and I turn it to lock, you can see that it totally locks it in place, and there's no way for the tool to come out. This is a unique feature on a Cidan machine because you'll never have tools that will come out even when you're running from the backside and they hit the box tool and it can kick out. But with ours, you'll never have that happen. Then you just use your Allen head right here and pull up your folding blade tooling and your lower beam tooling. You can get these with straight rails, or you can get them with segmented tooling. The other feature that we have right now while we're showing it is the crowning feature. You use crowning for, let's say you're doing 26 gauge and then you're going to 11 gauge. With that, you'll adjust the crowning based on the material thickness. Makes it nice so that when you do that 11 gauge, you'll get a nice straight even bend, and then when you do the 26 gauge, you'll still get that nice straight even bend. A fantastic feature that we have on this machine is our combi beam feature. We've been making this combi beam feature since 1986, and it's where the whole upper tool rotates, and it comes in handy when we're doing parts that you have two setups involved, and it makes it easy to do the short bends on this and do the long bends with your 30-degree nose bar. I'll just go ahead and flip it over right now. It's got a locking system that locks in back and then locks in place, and there's no way for this to move out of position. Then you can go right to your 30-degree nose bar. It's nice because you have a lot of free space here, but also when you flip it over, you have a lot of free space for parts that are just going into the upper beam too. Very unique, and it also gives you a nice visual, which you'll see when you're running from the back. You can see it. You're not having to drop your head down to see where your position are on your box spoke tool. The other feature we have is our ProLink control. We'll get into this in more detail on a different video, but it walks you right through how to bend each piece. You can run this offline. You can run it, store programs through a USB port, either here, or here, wherever you want to position it in your shop. The feature that we have with the foot pedals is you can have a foot pedal up front, like this. You can have one in the back. You could have this foot pedal on a rail system, so you can kick it from left to right with your tool stations. On the back gauge, you can get different various configurations of back gauge: an L-shaped back gauge, a J-shaped back gauge, a square back gauge, a rectangular back gauge. What we have on here is a 61-inch back gauge, and then on the other side we have a 125-inch back gauge. We'll show you that configuration. Hi, now I'm on the back gauge. Doesn't matter if you've got a Mega Pro, quarter-inch machine, or our K25 14-gauge machine, or the Futura Plus, which I'm on. You'll be able to stand on these, and not that you're going to stand on it, but I want to show you just the robustness of it. Some back gauges are inferior to ours, and you'll never have a problem of putting heavy plate on here. It doesn't matter which size machine, they're all configured the same. So we can put a 700-pound plate up here, run it on, run it off, and you never have to worry about your back gauge collapsing over time. In fact, it doesn't even move. It's a very robust back gauge. Here we're working with the control in the back, so when you're ever operating the machine from the back, two ways you can do it. You could have the same foot pedal that you used in front, swinging around to the back side, or through a selector switch, have a second foot pedal here, so it's easier for the operator. But you're able to, view your control easily, run your parts. The ball screws are engineered proper height, so even a piece, it holds it in a position. Some machines, if you have ball screws, you'll move it and then the part will move. This, it doesn't move once you position it. And if you notice, the fingers, they operate off air. So it'll drop down this and pop up. But if you notice, the fingers right here sit recessed down. So even when you're moving across, you're never hitting those fingers on different parts, which could be a problem on other machines. And also, just the little things that are engineered. This rail here is actually down about 1 millimeter, so when the part rides across, you're never hitting it, causing damage to your back gauge. Now we're going to talk about the guts of the machine. On the Futura Plus, we are looking at the left side of it, facing the machine, and right here you'll see the combi beam clutch, and it has a positive stop, 2 of them, top and bottom. Okay, you have the motor here for the combi beam. The motor actually drives, moves up and down with the upper beam, so it keeps a good tension on the chain. Right here you have the folding beam motor, and you have one on the other side. Right down here you have the eccentric, okay, that drives the upper beam up and down. You also have a large torsion shaft. It's about 6 inches, 150 millimeter diameter, and that's what keeps the parallelism and the deflection, eliminates the deflection on the upper beam. You'll see the upper beam clamping with the eccentric. We're getting all the power right here. You won't see it moving much because the eccentric is just driving about 2 inches to get that full power for clamping. And that's why we have a very strong clamping pressure for our machines compared to other machines out there. Right now I'll go ahead and rotate the combi beam, and you'll see the positive stops hitting right there, and the clutch will move. As you can see, the clutch will keep the tension of the chain. Now I'll come down with the clamping beam, and you'll see the phenolic gibbing. It's about 20 inches or a half a meter in length on both sides. Keeps the parallelism, and you can see that it's totally enclosed. It's not a yawning effect of opening up on the upper beam right here. As you can see, when we get down there, when we go to clamp for hemming, you can see it just moved about 1/4 of an inch, but that's all strength of power with the torsion shaft with the eccentric. Now you see the folding beam come up. You can always see that shaft. But one thing you'll notice is as the folding beam was coming down, the upper beam started coming up. That gives you a lot more speed as far as manipulation of your parts. We're showing you the right side of the machine, and as you see, the side frame is also enclosed up here so you don't get the yawning effect of the upper beam movement. Right here you have the linear encoder for the upper jaw. You have the limit switch, maximum, minimum, and then your safety stop. Right here you have the positions for the combi beam. This is the folding beam motor with the maximum and minimum rotation. One unique thing we do have, and this is by experience, is when there's a lot of short movement of your upper beam, you're just clamping and coming up about a ½ inch or 12 millimeters, then your fan doesn't move. It just moves a little bit, stops, a little bit, stops, and you don't get the proper cooling on your upper beam. Or if you're doing radius bending, you're just having small movements Well, right now we got the machine turned off, but we have a fan that constantly cools our upper beam. This is a big problem on other types of machines, and we don't have that problem. You'll never have your upper beam having a problem with it cooling the fan, because the fan's always running. When the machine's on, the fan's running. It's constantly cooling.